Are you ready, ready?
Welcome back to the Boom Room. What an exciting week we had last week. I can't wait to talk about it. So having said that, let's talk about it. Machiavellians backed up his upset victory last week with another impressive victory, getting himself right back into playoff contention. Remember the North with a tough loss, and this one he's going to look back and it might be the final nail in his coffin. Negro Realty picked up a quarterback on a waiver wire, 40 points plug and play. When something like that happens, you're expecting good things. But however, he ran into his nemesis, Lincoln Legends, and the Legends did it to him again. LeBron, how many times is that the Legends has now beaten the Negro Realty?
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
TNT with a professional victory over Whipping That Ass. Whipping That Ass has really struggled this year, so this game didn't have the normal juice that it has. You know, TNT, I'm speaking for them. We just took care of business. Long season for them guys over there. See you next year, homie. After the game, this is what the coach of TNT had to say to Whipping That Ass.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Money, 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 money. Money. In a highly anticipated game, the higher power blew out Jabronis by 73 points. Whoa. I don't think anybody saw that coming. The Patriots defense and baby charty doody doody baby charty doody doody. They keep rolling for the higher power. He's looking like a juggernaut right now with those two acquisitions. Man. And another interesting matchup, Arizona Ron defeated El Cajinos by 27 points, led by arguably the best wide receiver combo in the Beat It Fantasy Football League. Cooper Kupp and Michael Thomas combined for 18 catches, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns, or 67 Beat It Fantasy Football League points. Ron, are those teams that's on the second tier? We see what you're doing over there, man. We like it. We know this. On another note, Cajinos with yet another head-scratching move, benching Aaron Rodgers once again. He made a trade that the league is still scratching their head over, and it directly cost him a victory. El Cajinos, Freddie Kitchens. That's all I'm saying. Now, having said that, let's get on to the game of the week. Bread Inc. G5. G5 knowing he could basically win a division with a victory this week. Bread Inc. knew how important this game was, and I'll tell you why. Going into this game, we thought we was going to get Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes. Instead, we got Mason Rudolph against Sam Darnold. Bread Inc. made 2 blockbuster trades this week. Acquire Mike Evans and Tevin Coleman, and that led him to victory. Big games from both of them guys. What a difference. This division is going to come down to the final game of the season when these two teams play each other again. Wow. I will say this. Bread Inc. was a little low. Now he's flying high. G5 was flying high. Now they might be coming in for a shaky landing. I'm going to monitor this the rest of the season. Now, on to something different. Last week, I made a challenge to the player rep. If you guys don't remember, this is what I said. Lincoln Legends, you have an open invitation at the Boom Room anytime. At the very least, as a player rep, I expect a phone call from you next week's show on the Boom line. I'll leave it at that. I'll give you time for your rebuttal, and we'll talk soon. Legend. Having said that, with no further ado, let's get to it. Guess who's here? The player rep.
I'm excited to be back in the Boom Room.
Oh, I'm glad to have you here. Is it ironic that you're here again after beating the Negro?
I didn't see that coming, but yeah, I did see that coming.
But look, having said that, let's get the small talk out the way. The floor is yours for your rebuttal of what I said last week.
All right, so we talked about this a little bit off camera about the fact that although the IR spots, the movement on the IR spots is down, but we also know that there was an uptick in trades in the league. So where we are right now, the league seems to be balancing out from where we were at this point last season. We're about 70% of where we were for the total of last season with 5 games to go and some playoffs. So there's still going to be some transactions to be made. There's still going to be teams. The teams that are spending money are going to continue to spend their money. I don't see that stopping. I see the league as being more competitive. I see the teams at the bottom still having a chance to compete, and for that reason, still spending money. So I don't think we're going to go down. I think we're going to go up.
Let me give you a little bit kickback on that, because one thing that I wasn't clear about last week, not only is it the $7 for the IR spot, but then there's another $5 for the corresponding transaction that you're going to have to make to replace that guy that you put on the IR. So instead of it being $7 a transaction, it's really $12 a transaction, which takes the total up to $108. I do agree with you. Revenue wise, we're not that far off than where we're normally at, but I think that it can be an increase. I don't look at there's been more trades. Now, I don't know if you're saying that's a direct correlation to the IR spot. I'm not ready to go there.
I am. I think there's more talent. I think more teams of talent, they're able to trade people because they've been able to pick up a little bit decent, better people off the waiver wire. I think for that reason, they have some people to be able to trade. They have some better people that they can plug and play. For that reason, they have some people they can call you and say, I got this person. I need to make these moves. And I think it makes the whole league more competitive. At the same time, I think it makes us spend more money. But overall, I feel like I kind of reject the term that we're a money league. I don't believe we're a money league. I think we're all competitive. Like, I want the trophy. Like, I don't want to throw that money in your face. I want to show that trophy in your face at the end of the season. Like, I want to beat every one of y'all. Like I've won the money before. I've gotten the money. I think a lot of people have gotten the money, and that's not the most important thing to them. I think they want that trophy. I think they want to walk in here to we are the champions at the at the party next year, at the draft party.
So do you?
I think people. I mean, people take the money.
Okay.
They
Yes.
take the money, but I don't think it's an important part. Like, they're going to say that $63 or $108 less in transactions or whatever you're saying it is going to be like, oh, I'm going to leave the league, or, oh, we got to change this rule back because of this little bit lower money. Like I said, I think the bottom teams are more competitive. Mm-hmm. They are seeing some more value at the bottom of the league. They're seeing more value on the waiver wire. They're picking up people that other teams are dropping because they can't use those extra IR spots this year. So I think it's balancing out. I think at times it will work in the favor of raising the money in the pot.
Okay, so what do you say to the teams that don't win it? You know, like sometimes we'll have teams that might split the pot or what have you, and to lose the chip, you know, that's a kind of a parting gift. You know, you would want to, you know, get as much as you can, not win the chip, you know, the third place or however the money breaks down. Like that's an incentive.
I think with the breakdown is like $50 to the third place winner. I think that's pretty settled. What is it, 100, 150 to the best record at the end of the season? That's usually me. Right? So I don't have a problem with. I mean, we can raise that. If we're gonna raise that, then we can talk about adding those IR spots back so that money can go up. But other than that, I'm saying like the title money. I don't think that's a significant factor to most of the teams. I think the teams that are getting there are happy with the money they're getting, but they want that trophy. They want to walk in here to we are the champions at the end of the year.
So at
the draft party and to show it to everybody. They want that ring, they want that championship belt.
So what you're saying is basically you okay with the trophy, I'm just throwing a number out there, the trophy in 700 rather than the trophy in 1,000.
I am.
Okay. I mean, I'm not. You know, I mean,
I mean, the other owners could come to me and they could talk to me and say, I mean, we want to fight to get this rule changed. But I think IR spots should be used for IRs because one of your significant players went down and I need a stash to spot them. I need a spot to stash them so I can hold on to them. Not some player that's sitting on the bottom of your roster that I just don't want to cut right now because I want to pick somebody else up. Like even myself, because the rule is there, at this point I'm IRing people that I never intend to play. I just don't want to drop them.
And that's your choice. Here's what, and this has always been my rebuttal to you on this, is from Sunday to Tuesday, we lock everything up. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody has a chance to get whoever they want. There's no unfair advantage. There's no more waiver wire. You got your free agency money. So once it's like Black Friday. Once that door open on Tuesday, first come, first serve. You have the same opportunity as me or any other owner. So having said that, I don't understand why it's an issue. It's not like, Team X is hoarding a player that you never had an opportunity to get.
At the same time, we also, like an ongoing fight that I've been talking about is the number of roster spots, period. The fact that during the week you can carry up to 8 running backs. Like, you're carrying more running backs than NFL teams. During the week you can carry up to 6 or 7 active wide receivers and 2 IRs. That makes 9 wide receivers that you can carry during the week.
Okay, but the same team can't do that. Like you got to choose one or the other. And having said that, but once again, back to my original point is, let's just say I'm the one carrying 8 running backs. You had every opportunity to get any of those running backs that I had on my roster. For whatever reason, however your team is constructed, whatever your philosophy is, you chose not to. Then you can't then come and say, well, I'm upset because he has 8 running backs and now one of my running backs got hurt and one of those running backs are not in the pool. At the end of the day, I didn't unfairly acquire any running back. I didn't do anything. That's just the way I chose to construct my team.
Yeah, I mean, you did that because you can. I mean, I'm doing things right now because I feel like I have to in order to compete in this league.
Why do you feel like you have to?
Because I have to constantly turn over my roster. And the fact that if I'm not constantly acquiring talent, then if I get a significant injury at the end of the season, I won't have the talent to be able to run through the playoffs. I've been in that position before.
And like I said to you, it sounds like to me, you don't want to pay for insurance because that's what it is. You have to insure your best players. You have to back them up. And if you're sitting there saying, I shouldn't have to do that, that's the equivalent of saying, I shouldn't have to get insurance. So, if you crash and you don't got insurance, then you get what you get. So if you got a top player and I should have his backup or I should have a backup plan, and you choose not to do that because you want to wake up and be able to get a quality player late in the season, to me, as you said, this is a competitive league, and I don't see how those two go. You shouldn't be able to wake up Saturday morning, Sunday morning and get a great player in a competitive league because that player should be on somebody's roster.
Not even a great player. Just somebody that's going to run the ball like 4 or 5 times. You should be able to get up and get somebody that's going to run the ball 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. I mean, it gets pretty dicey at the bottom of the waiver wire if your running back go back. Like all of a sudden on Thursday you find out that your running back's not playing and you're not sitting on that backup. You could be jammed up. And I've been in that situation before, but I hear you. I hear you. Like you do. Like, you want this kind of be this kind of league, but I don't think that was the spirit of the original giving those roster spots. Those original roster spots were for you to carry 2 quarterbacks. They were for you to carry 2 kickers. They were for you to carry 2 defenses and 2 tight ends. Mm-hmm. And there is nobody in the league that is constantly carrying 2 of each of those players. They are using those extra roster spots on a regular basis, and they're stashing the skill position players. They're stashing those running backs. They're stashing those wide receivers. They're doing it during the week, and they're doing it to a point that if you drop them so late, if you drop them on Friday night, then they're not available to anybody.
And once again, I don't have an issue with that. I mean, to me, that's strategic. And once again, I just keep getting back to there's nothing unfair about it. There's no other team has an advantage in this process.
I mean, how about this? If you were forced to make a move by Thursday night, to drop somebody by Thursday night, that would give somebody the option to pick that player up on Sunday morning. Isn't that adding money back to the pot if that player gets picked up because they got dropped?
No, my argument to that is, why should I help you win? Like, why? I don't want to see you. Like, let's just say, I got to drop somebody that might be able to help you win, and I'm battling you. I don't want to see you pick that player up.
Our rosters are bigger than NFL rosters in regards of carrying running backs and wide receivers.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see how that makes us a competitive league. It makes us that if you don't draft well, then your season is pretty much over at that point.
I disagree, because I can point to a number of players that you can pick up. You can look at a chart. You can look at a Waller, a Disley. I mean, there's players
but you
that
can't
you
go
pick
right
up.
out and get them. You got to spend the money. If you don't draft well, and then you don't come in and you don't hit free agent well, and then you don't come in and trade well, your season is over.
But that's real life. I mean, if you're a professional team, if you don't draft well, you're done. If you can't make acquisitions, you done. I mean, that's the nature of the beast.
But don't we want these players? Or don't we want, even if you pick somebody up, like say an Antonio Brown or somebody like that, that didn't pan out, shouldn't you be able to get a third string wide receiver or something like that? Somebody that's going to play a few snaps?
Absolutely not. Because I think
13 weeks of a regular season?
I think it's unfair to those people who do hit on the draft, who do well in picking up free agency. Like, to me, that's a skill. And if you're not good at that, you shouldn't be rewarded. You shouldn't still be like, okay, well, I'm not good at the draft, but it's a way to save me. I'm not good at free agency, but it's a way to save me. If you're not good at that, you deserve what you get, and you're punishing the people that's putting in the work, that's getting it done. You wanted this to be like, everybody 8-8.
No, I don't want everybody to be 8-8. I don't believe everybody will be 8-8. I believe the bottom part of the league will be competitive. I believe they'll continue competing because they can get somebody to keep them in it. You get to a certain point where if you can't get quality free agents, if your team is averaging 101 points a week or something like that, your season is done pretty early. And don't we want that person to continue competing? Don't we want that person to be like, if I make this move, if I make this trade, if I can pick up this free agent, I can still compete. Therefore, I should still be making moves. I should still be putting money into the free agency.
Here's where I'm going to disagree with that.
Into the wire.
Because of the way our playoff is set up, competition is kind of guaranteed. With us having more than half the teams make the playoffs with 7 spots, that last spot is always going to be dangling until the last 2 games of the season, because it's more than half the team. So it's still going to be, it's still 3 or 4 teams that's going to be, like last year, there were 9 teams still competing going into the last week of the season. So if we only had, let's say, 4 or 5 playoff spots, you would have more of an argument there. But being as though more than half of the teams in the league make the playoffs, it's going to be valuable. So,
I mean, the counter argument is those bottom 3 or the teams in 10-11. Like, when did they go out? When did they stop making transactions? When did they realize their season was over because they can't get a player from the waiver wire because they're unable to make a trade? Like when did they stop making transactions? When did they stop contributing to that transaction pool?
Well, look, that's something that we can get more data in after this year. 'Cause like I said, this is the first year with the new IR rule. So once the season's over, I'm just saying the way it was trending, I don't like the way it's trending. And like I said, my whole argument, not to be repeating myself, I'm sorry for the viewers out there, is like, it's not unfair. And it, like what you're saying, like I get what you're saying, but it's not unfair. If everybody has that opportunity, then what are we talking about? We know what the rules is. Let's play. It just seemed like, to me, my point has always been, is just like, I feel like, your argument is, you want it to be a little easier. You want it to be, I want to be able to get somebody that's viable. Like, to me, no. If you have an injury, it should be hard. It should be tough to get somebody.
Yeah, I don't even think I don't think that you're gonna, that at any point you're gonna be able to go to the waiver wire and get a replacement for a number 1 running back.
Okay.
Unless that number 1 running back went out and the backup is available.
So let me ask you this last question.
That doesn't happen very often.
So, in your opinion,
I don't think it gets easy.
What's on the waiver wire? Like, so you telling me, let's just say whoever gets hurt, the equivalent of what? You saying that you only can find a wide receiver, running back 4 or 5 on the waiver wire?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think not even. I think you find I think you find like really deep running backs.
So what would
deep wide receivers
in your scenario,
where we are.
In your scenario, what would you want to be available on the waiver wire?
Players. I just want players that are getting into the game, that are being competitive.
But I can argue that you can get players that's going to get into the game.
Well, we have 12 teams carrying 5 wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's 60 wide receivers.
Okay.
Or whatever that are, automatically taken off. Then you have a certain number of teams that are carrying 6 wide receivers, 7 wide receivers.
Okay.
Some carrying 8 during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going into the 70, 75 wide receivers that are playing on Sunday that are unavailable to you if your wide receiver goes down on Thursday. Your wide receiver didn't practice, went down on Thursday, and now you have to get the 77th ranked wide receiver. What is the difference between a 77th ranked wide receiver and a 60th ranked wide receiver? The 60th ranked wide receiver might actually play that day. That's what I'm saying. And I think you should be able to get a player.
Here's what I'm going to say to that, and I'm not trying to be smart. It's not like you want to be in a 10-team league.
I competed in both. I think the league should be. I think it makes the league more competitive when the teams at the bottom are able to get better talent, when they can use the free agency acquisition budget and they can go and get the player that they need to get better.
You got all the tools that you need to put together a successful team. And I don't want to punish the teams that has the foresight, that's looking ahead, that's for my words, that bought insurance. Like we all got the question is, do you want to buy insurance or not?
Is that insurance when you're stashing healthy people on your
it's
IR
insurance
because you got extra spots?
See, it's not to me. I don't look at it as stashing because they didn't get them illegally or unfairly. That's how they chose to construct their roster. You had opportunity to get that player. You didn't need them, so you look, I don't need them. So, but the problem is when you do need them, you want them to be there.
Well, I need to get them because I need to keep you from getting them and putting them on your IR.
Is that strategy? I mean, you listen. That's strategy.
It is. I play along with the rules that we have now, but why are these the rules that we have now? Why we can't adjust the rules?
I'll tell you what, man. Not to cut you off, this has been a great conversation. This is something that we're going to have to take up again in our winter meetings, and hopefully we'll get more owners involved with this because, as you can see, remember the North had a great impact in getting this rule change. So I want all the owners to know that your voice does count. We do listen, and it matters. That's the most important thing I want to take away from this. So,
can I also throw out there? I think my team got the best core wide receivers in the league, though. I heard you get a shout out to Arizona Ron, but he don't got the top 3 that I got. He got a decent top 2.
Keenan
but
Allen,
he don't got the top 3 that I got.
Goodwin and
Tyler Lockett. Nobody got the top 3 that I got. We like the greatest show on turf.
I said, but
add it up.
In fairness, I said combo. I didn't say trio. So your top 2 would be who?
My top 2 is Godwin and either one, Keenan Allen or Tyler Lockett.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I take Mike Thomas and Cup.
Yeah, but I run 3.
No, but
you gotta put my 3 against his 2.
I said best combo. I didn't say trio. If we say trio, you got it. I think your trio probably can't be, but I think combo. I think his top 2 is the best in the league.
Stay hot right now. Keenan Allen fell off a little bit. He gonna come back. You know what he do.
Hey, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all ain't locked horns yet, right? Y'all play this week, right?
We play this week.
Oh, but his 2 guys ain't playing. I was wondering why he was taking that shot. You see that, Ron? I know Ron. I see you in the playoffs.
Who you gave T best team at this point? We didn't see each other yet, so
I had to do it kind of like college football, and I just started looking at the 2 resumes. Literally, I made myself third. I'm being objective. It was between you and him, and I just thought. His loss was he scored 193. And on paper, you had a bad loss. And I thought, had you not lost, you would have been the number 1 seed. But that loss cost you the number 1 spot.
Well, figure I lost to you, and you put up, 195 that week.
True. But in fairness, he beat me, though.
The week that I lost to Tone, he was the highest scorer that week. So,
But he also lost to somebody that scored 198.
We both 7-2.
True.
And I've scored more points than him on the season.
True. I'm just going resume. And I think another thing, I think his strength of schedule has been a little bit tougher than yours.
I think you gave a little shout out to the Trinity. That's all I'm saying.
I can see that, but like to me, the determining factor was the Machiavellians' loss dropped you to 2. If you beat Machiavellians, then clearly you would have had the number 1 spot. I just thought his losses look better than your losses. Man, I thought that's what it came down. Like I said, you've been the most dominant team from start to finish, but you had a hiccup, you know, because of the 1 spot, you know. But listen, at the end of the day, you know, I got a feeling, you know, it's gonna be probably 3 games between us. It's probably gonna be 2 games between either you and the higher power or me and the higher power. At the end of the day, so you know, it's gonna get settled. I think you've had a great first half. Not impressed, not scared, you know. So you know, we'll see you. Is there anything that the league needs to know going in the second half about Lincoln?
You know what it is. Like you don't have to score a bunch of points to beat me. It's just every week it is what it is. Like we gonna be there at the end of the season. We like. I hate to say it. We like the Patriots. We like whoever the NFC put up. We gonna be there at the end of the season. Like so, you know.
Well, look. Let me say this.
Best. Bring it. We're gonna be at the top at the end of the season. We're gonna roll into the playoffs hot. Come see us.
I'll say this. Speaking as TNT, you've had tremendous success, but maybe this is the year where you be the 4 or 5 seed and you make a move out of that position. You know, because I don't think 1 and 2 gonna be there for you this year. Having said that, man, I want to thank you for coming out. Like I said, the invitation is always open to you. I appreciate the great conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I hope I was a better interview than a eggplant on the plate.
I don't know though. That's
I'm just saying.
I mean, want to clarify who's that a shot at?
I'm just overrated. Overrated.
Okay, I didn't know if that was a shot at the 5 or the Gajitos. But having said that, once again, I want to thank you for coming out, and I want to preview the game.
Wins all time.
The game of the week next week is going to be Jabronis versus Negro. The winner of that game takes over the last playoff spot and controls their playoff destiny to the rest of the season. Good luck, everybody, next week. I can't wait to break that game down. See you next week in the Boom Room.